coming out of the ugly and dehumanizing vestiges of slavery and a brutal civil war, came together to imagine a new South and to build a new world. Together they began in the Capitol right behind me and in front of you to forge a new faith in a new kind of South and society and to be a new kind of people. Together they envisioned a new North Carolina, and they penned those words that Dr. Brown said, "We hold it self-evident that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, the enjoyment of the fruit of their own labor, and the pursuit of happiness." Together, black and white, they guaranteed public education. Together, Sister Coleman, they guaranteed equal protection and fairness in the courts and free and fair and unrestricted elections for all males regardless of race or income. Together. What a marvelous vision 145 years ago. 100 years before the Civil Rights Movement. 145 years ago, they dreamed of a world where we would work together and stand together and educate our children together. Why do we gather as people of faith? Because people of faith then, one of them was an African-American preacher, Reverend J.W. Hood. The other was a white congregationalist named Reverend Samuel Ashley. They were at the center of forging this vision and empowering this dream. But you should know, my friends, that though this vision of justice and fairness was noble, and though togetherness and unity is a great thing, enemies abounded then like they abound now. Wherever there are those who want to move forward, there are always those who despise moving forward. They would rather live in the darkness of inequality, the darkness of injustice and inhumanity towards others. They would rather live like that than to live in the light of equality and justice. And so at every turn, to move forward, there's always been a fight to go backwards. There's always been a push backwards. What did they do 145 years ago? They formed an immoral movement called the Redeemers Movement. Sounded like something good, but as my grandfather once said, everybody that says Lord, Lord is not with the Lord. They called it the Redeemers Movement, but underneath it, it was a devilish movement. Because the foundation of that movement, they declared, was to redeem the South from the sinful influence of black and white and brown people working together and influencing politics. They fought to go back by forming the Red Shirts, Andre, and the KKK and paramilitary groups designed to intimidate blacks and whites and Jews from working together. They fought. They fought to go back by changing election laws. They fought to go back by working to stack the courts so that activist judges would roll back the power of the new constitutional rights represented by the 14th Amendment and the 15th Amendment. They fought. They fought to go back by rigging elections. And then after they cheated, they used their power to pull the troops out of the South in 1877 so that those who wanted to go backwards would have no force to stop them, and those desiring to go forward would have no force to protect them. They fought to go back by getting the Supreme Court in 1896 to render Plessy versus Ferguson that declared separate but equal was constitutional, and there was only one justice, a white justice from Kentucky, that dissented. They fought to go back right here in North Carolina with a violent coup d'etat against blacks and whites in Wilmington, 1898. And that coup d'etat ran duly elected black and white officers out of office and led to the election of a governor named Charles B. Aycock and a U.S. Senator named Fernhold Simmons and a regressive legislature who together ushered in an avalanche of regressive policy intended on stopping forever the vision of us moving together as a people. Sounds like deja vu, doesn't it? Then they gloated and they boasted of what they had done. But in the midst of their actions, something happened. And that's why we must name our own narrative here. We can't let the News Observer, the Shut, we love them, or any media tell us why we're here and what we're doing. And so history tells us that in the midst of all of this fight to go back, something happened. A resistance was born, and it was signaled in February of 1900, when at a segregated public school, two brothers Johnson, on Abraham Lincoln's birthday, had the students in that school sing for the first time a song that would become the anthem and the hymn of a new movement of blacks and whites and brown and poor and wealthy and people of faith who would mount a resistance and fight back against the enemies of justice and inequality. And so in the midst of the setbacks and the gloating of the enemies of progress and the forces of extremism and the forces of immorality and regressivism, they began 113 years ago this year to sing and strengthen themselves for a movement to fight back. I don't know if you all know it, but some of us know what they sang. In the midst of that pain, they sung, "Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicings rise high as the listening skies." And then they said, when you're hurting, sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. And then they sung, "Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our father sighed." And then they closed it with a refrain of faith. "God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far along the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in thy path, we pray. Lest our feet, God Almighty, stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land." They sang, and by faith refused to give in. They sang, and by faith they built a new movement. They sang, and by faith they organized an army of resistance. They sang, and believed that America would someday be America to all of us. They sang, and believed that the South would not forever be bound in the shackles of hate and discrimination. They sang and organized when they didn't have the votes. They sang and they organized when the legislature was against them. They sang and they organized their lawyers to think in new ways. They sang and kept the faith moving forward despite being beaten and killed and lynched. They sang, and with faith they went into the courts and went into the streets and went into pulpits, believing that someday things would change. They sang, and by faith they won in the Supreme Court in 1954. They sang and prayed in. They moved presidents. They moved the leaders, Republicans and Democrats, with their moral stamina. They sang, and with faith, they beat back the John Birch Society and the Dixiecrats and the Sovereign Commission and the Ku Klux Klan. Right here in North Carolina, they sang. And by faith, they reversed the course of history. And this, my friends, is our legacy and calling once again today. Yes, we have seen an immoral and regressive legislature. Yes, in 6 months, 180 days, they have turned this state 180 degrees in the wrong direction. Yes, They have attacked the poor and attacked the sick and attacked our children and attacked teachers and attacked those who have different sexualities and have attacked labor. Yes, they have hurt us. And what they have done is mean, is hurtful, and is wrong. But we are the children of a movement, of multiracial, multicultural movement. We know how to sing and fight on anyhow. We are a movement of deep faith and values and vision. We are the movement, we are the children of those who have always fought back, pushed forward, had courage, and refused to be moved. And so now is our calling. It's our time to take up the mantle and plant our feet one more time. Elijah brought us here, but we are Elisha now. Moses brought us here, but we're Joshua now. Once again, we must sing the vision of freedom and justice, and by faith we must go forward. We've been here before, and if slavery didn't kill us, if the oppression of women didn't kill us, surely no weak legislator with 86 votes gonna kill us. We are the sons and daughters of those who won against incredible odds. We are the sons and daughters of those who had hope when hope unborn had died. We are the sons and daughters of those who refused to become drunk with the wine of the world, drunk with the wine of racism, drunk with the wine of injustice, drunk with the wine of power, and drunk with the wine of inequality. We know who we are. Now, it won't be easy. It won't be an easy fight, but it will be a fight. And we know how to fight. In fact, we live for the fight. Don't make no mistake, North Carolina. This is no momentary hyperventilation or momentary protest. This is a movement, not a moment. We got a reputation to uphold. My mama depending on us. My daddy that's looking down from the portals of heaven is depending on us. Rosa Parks is depending on us. Mary Evans is depending on us. Viola Lewisa, a white woman, is depending on us. So we who believe in freedom cannot rest. Yes, we got a governor that's decided to be on the wrong side of history. Oh yes. We've got a legislature bragging and boasting about its power and legislating on the basis of lies and discrimination. And though they have temporary power, the future does not belong to them. Injustice does have its moments, but the future doesn't belong to injustice. Because always there comes a day when people rise up. And this, my friends, is that day. Always. Somebody say always. Always. A new day comes. Always. Always. The morning follows the dark night. That great Jewish text. So pleased to stand here today with these rabbis. That great text of Psalm 118 says, almost painfully, I called on the Lord in my distress, and the Lord answered me. All of us. Set me in a broad place. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do to me? The Lord is for me. Among those who help me, therefore I shall see my desire on those who hate me. Then the psalmist feels his help coming and he says, it's better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. It's better to put the trust in the Lord than put confidence in princes and kings and politicians. Then the psalmist speaks of a new day. He says, in the middle of the distress, the stones, God from Zion, that the builders rejected have become the chief cornerstone. And this is the Lord's doing. And it's marvelous in our eyes because this is the day that the Lord has made. And I came by here, I ain't nothing but a country preacher, to announce that this is the day that the Lord has made. This is a moment in history that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Through this pain, through this abuse, this is still the day. The Lord, as my grandmama said, the Lord has brought us together. The Zeitgeist, as the German theologians would say, has brought us together. The Great Spirit, as my Tuscaroran ancestors would say, has gathered us under the wing of the eagle and called us together. God has called the stones that the builders rejected to come together. The people that this legislature has rejected, that the governor has rejected. And this is the day for all of us to fight for this state to do right. This is the day when we announce we will not go back. Look around for a moment and see what the Lord has done. Just take a look. Couldn't nobody but the Lord start with 17 and then fill up Fayetteville Street? Look at what the Lord has done. All they do to keep us divided. Here we are, all races, all colors, all sexualities, all communities, all incomes. I wish somebody would shout, this is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. So my friend, don't you get discouraged. Oh, no, no, no. Claim the power of this moment and let us prove once again that what men mean for evil, God can turn it to good. Let us prove again that when the stones that the builder rejected gets together, a new day has arrived. I know without a doubt, when I look out on you, the stones that have been rejected, that this state will be a state where the weak grow strong and the strong go great, because this is the day that the Lord has made. I know when I look out on you that no weapon formed against us will prosper, because this is the day that the Lord has made. I know when I look out on you that out of one blood God has made all people, because this is the day that the Lord has made. Look around and see what the Lord has done. Look around and see North Carolina's new future right out here on the street. Look around and see a new South. Look around and see a new America. There was a time time we wouldn't be together like this. There was a time the right-wing wedge issues would have kept us from holding together. But look at us now, holding hands together. Educators fighting with the unions, and unions fighting with civil rights, and people of faith fighting with the children, and environmentalists coming together with the health workers, and doctors standing on the side of the sick, and millionaires standing with the unemployed, and straight folks standing with gay folk, and people of faith standing with those wrestling with their faith. Look at what the Lord has done. This is the day when we remind this governor and every governor that comes after him that being elected does not give you the authority to govern for a few, and that we believe ultimately the people have veto power over every political bully. This is the day that we say to Governor McCory, you better get on the right side of history. Haven't you read? Didn't you pass history? And if you didn't, get one of these teachers to give you an extra point. This is the day we remind Governor McCory, George Wallace lost. Lexter Maddox lost. Lou Hodges lost. You're on the wrong side of history. This is the day that we say to this power-drunk, extreme legislature, justice will prevail over your trickery and your temporary victory. That's why you rushed to do your dirt and then ran out of town. Because you know inside yourself it ain't gonna stand. You know inside yourself it's just temporary. What you have done will not stand the test of time, the scrutiny of the Constitution, or the power of the people. This is the day that we believe there's still a better way. All our children can be educated. All of our sick can have health insurance. All of our workers can be protected. The poor can be lifted. And all people, regardless of who they are, can be loved and accepted. This is the day that we refuse to go backwards. This is the day, somebody plant your foot. Just pick the right one up and plant it. This is the day we plant our feet. This is the day we are saved by hope. This is the day that we renew our faith, that they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, mount up on wings as eagles, run and not get weary, walk and not faint. This is the day that we believe if God be for us, it doesn't matter who's against us. This is the day that we declare in the face of this puny human power, the Lord is our light and our salvation. This is the day that we recognize there's no greater force than the power of love. There's no greater force than the power of truth. And there's no cause more noble than justice. This is the day that we believe greater is the spirit in us than the spirit in the world. Look around one more time and see what I see. I'm going from this mic, but if you could just see what I see. They thought, Tillis and McCory and Berger, that they could do wrong and get away with it. But what men mean for evil, God works to good. Instead of depressing us, they have made us determined to fight. Sister Coleman, instead of defeating us, they've made us defiant. Instead of dividing us, they've united us. Instead of scaring our lawyers, they've made our lawyers ready to fight. Instead of discouraging our young people, they put a fire in them and raised up a new generation of warriors for the battlefield. Instead of doing their dirt in the darkness, now the whole world can see them. Instead of making themselves more popular, less than 1 out of 5 North Carolinians agree with this legislature. But Mara Monday is the talk of the state, and the talk of the nation, and the talk of the world. Oh God. Some of us would have stayed in our pulpits, but now they done messed up. They got rabbis and imams and preachers coming out of their pulpits, getting back in the street. Even the Pope said yesterday, it's time to act up. Instead of making us go home, they made us for 12 straight weeks, 84 days, pray together, sing together, go to jail together. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will organize from Asheville to Nags Head, from Elizabeth City to Wilmington, from Greensboro to Charlotte, from the I-40 corridor to the back roads of eastern North Carolina, from Raleigh to Rockingham. We will fight. We will fight. This is the day. We will not bow our heads or allow our spirits to be broken. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will work in this day until the day comes that we are one nation, one state, one people, one community, under God, indivisible, 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 with liberty and justice for all. And when we get to that day, oh my God, when we get to that day, we're going to shout together. We're going to say hallelujah together. We're going to thank God together. Because when we all see justice, what a day. What a day. What a day. When we all see justice, what a day.